I am 6 weeks postpartum and I have preeclampsia. This is so scary and bad. And I have 2 older kids, and sometimes I have to stay home alone. And I don't like it because you never know what could happen. That I have now, preeclampsia, with really high blood pressure. My pregnancy was great. I had a lot of energy. I wasn't sick. I feel great. And then I was like 24 weeks, I went to an ultrasound and they told me like, oh, like everything is fine. We just see like a little white stuff in your baby's heart. And we don't see her nasal bone. So like we need to keep checking the baby every month, like once a month. And that got me scared. Like they told me like, oh, she could have Down syndrome, and that just got me super scared. I went the next day. I went to in a 3D, and they told me, oh, I see her nasal bone. She's looked fine. She looked great, and that calmed me down a little bit. But that thing, like she have, oh, we're not being sure like until she come out. We're gonna be sure. Like she's gonna keep looking at her and stuff like that. So, but then I realized my baby's fine. I wasn't thinking about that. And then I was like 39 weeks. It was on Monday, July 22nd. I woke up fine, great. I felt like a little weird. So I told my husband to drop me off at the hospital. Like, let me just go and check. But a week before, I went to my doctor's appointment. They told me like I was 1 centimeter. So I was like, okay. And then the following week, it was like, let me just go and check to see how's everything, to see if I'm progressing or anything. So when I got to the hospital, I started getting a little contraction, but it wasn't that bad. I was at the hospital. They laid me down in the bed, and they told me I was 2 centimeters. Like around 5, they told me, oh, just go home, come back at 7. My husband was with a client, and so he dropped my 2 other kids to grandma's house. So I was like, okay, let me just go walk to my house, because I live not too far, but the hospital is like in 233, and I live in 221st. So I started walking slowly. Like when I got to 229, my water broke. And then I started getting a little contraction more. And I just turned around and walked slowly. Then my waters keep coming out. Just kept walking slowly to the hospital. And I got there. I was waiting for the elevator. I was waiting for the elevator, and I got like a little more stronger contraction. And there was somebody there like, oh, it's okay, you'll make it. So I went up. I was fine. I'm walking slowly. I told the nurse that saw me, I was like, oh, my water broke. And then she was like, really? You just left? And then she said like, oh, just go back to the room that you were before and wait for me. I'll be right there. Okay, I got to the room, like next to the bed, and I'm like I had like a little pressure, like I need to push. So I started screaming like, I'm pushing. So every nurse, doctor, everything rushed in. They took me to another room, and like I started like pushing, like the pressure, like I couldn't stop. And then I didn't have no IV, the IV. They didn't shake anything. Like I had my clothes on, and everybody started taking off my clothes. They told me to breathe to so they can put the IV. And then I started breathing. Oh, I don't feel good right now. So I started breathing. They put the IV, and they told me like, okay, you can push now. And then like 2 or 3 push, my baby was out. My husband was on his way to the hospital. When he got there, I already had the baby on my arm. And he was like, that was fast. And everybody was like, oh my God, like I didn't know you give birth so fast. But my other two was kind of the same. But this one was like, she broke the record. By the way, I have a little girl. Fine in the hospital, my blood pressure was great. I was with my baby, I was happy. Like in 3 days, they told me, okay, you're going home. I got prepared, everything, they discharged me. And by 2 or 3 days after, I started getting this bad headache, like super bad headache. Like I thought my head was going to explode. That it was that bad. Like I couldn't, like I was crying. I couldn't know what to do. And then I just drank an ibuprofen, and so it calmed me down a little bit. So I was like, okay, probably it's just some stress. I'm tired. I can sleep. But I never thought about preeclampsia. I never heard of it or anything like that. So after 2 weeks, I called my doctor and I made an appointment. So I went there. When I got there, my head wasn't like hurting a lot, but it was hurting a little bit. So they checked my blood pressure, and it was super high. My doctor was super nervous. Like they called the ambulance. They took me to the hospital. I went from the clinic to the hospital because my blood pressure was super high. And they told me like I could have a seizure and stuff like that. So it was super scary. I started crying. I called my husband. I couldn't talk. So the nurse talked to my husband. It was a mess. And then I got to the hospital, and then I was by myself with the baby. So when I got to the hospital, my husband was already there waiting for me, for the baby, so he can take the baby home, be with the other two kids. So I stayed at the hospital. They checked my blood pressure. They gave me medicine. They gave me ibuprofen for the headache. So I started feeling a little better. And then like around 5 something, they sent me home with a prescription. So they told me to go get the prescription, drink the pill. And I was like super scary. And now like after 2 days, I started the prescription of the high blood pressure medicine. I started getting like this heart palpitation super fast. And I couldn't breathe that much. Like I got scared. I went to the hospital. And it was, my palpitation was like 140, 150. It was super high. And they checked, they did an x-ray, they didn't find anything. They told me like it's probably because since I'm starting a new medicine, that's causing that. So they sent me back home. They told me to relax and breathe. So I went back home. And it kept happening every day, and I get super scared. Back to the hospital because it was like, the higher my palpitation went, it was 198. So that got me super scared. They checked everything. CAT scan. They did an ultrasound on my heart. They told me everything is fine. Like the heart is normal. It's not big. So like I think like I'm super stressed now. Like, and then it's like my baby, like every time she throws up, her vomit come out to her nose. So it's like that got me super scared. I can't sleep because I have to be checking on her, like to make sure she's fine, because that happened at night, and I can't. Like it's keep happening. I'm 7 weeks right now. Today, of September 10. I'm 10 week. I'm 7 week, and I'm like keep thinking like, oh, you're gonna be fine. And thanks so much for our landing crew channel. Oh my gosh, she's the best. I saw her video that she went through that back on February, and it always made me feel better because I know like, look, she's fine. She got it. She got through it. She got a beautiful family. And I started talking to her via messenger on Facebook. And she helped me so much. She told me, girl, you can do this. Yes, everything's gonna be fine. And I love it because I haven't talked to anybody about this. Like I haven't like know anybody that went through this. And like thank God she responded to my message, and she helped me. She talked to me. She's so great. You could go check her channel. She have a beautiful family called The Landing Crew. Now, like, I can't, like, I don't feel myself. I have to, like, slow down. Like, I feel weak. Sometimes I cannot, like, I'm scared to hold my baby. Like, I always have to put her down. She's over here trying to sleep. My little munchkin. But yeah, I'm trying to relax and deal with this. Like, this get me like so frustrated. Like, I start crying. I can't breathe. My chest hurt. My heart started pounding so hard. Like I could feel it like all the way to my ears. Like it's gonna pop. And sometimes I can't even swallow. But I know everything's gonna be fine. It's gonna go away. I'm gonna keep updating until this is gone. If you have any question, or like anybody that going through this, like just relax, take it easy. Like everything's gonna be fine. Think positive. You have a beautiful family. And thank God for my husband. Like he been super helpful. He helps me a lot. But he had to go to work. So sometimes I have to stay home alone, and I get super scared. I oh my God, I'm gonna stay home alone with 3 kids. Like I don't know what to do. Like then my heart started racing. Like I know I need my life now. I have to check my blood pressure twice a day.
Your blood pressure is systolic 129 millimeter of mercury. Diastolic 89 millimeter of mercury. Your pulse was 99. Your blood pressure is normal.
Whew, thank you, God. Been to the hospital yesterday, September 16, and today. Now the doctor wants to do an ultrasound to see if I have like a piece of placenta inside of me, to see why my blood pressure is still high. And so hopefully there's nothing, this blood pressure will go back to normal. And they did change my pills. Now I'm drinking different pills for the blood pressure, and right now it's good. So but I don't know, like I have a headache, so I'm trying to relax right now. Hey, I am 2 months postpartum now with preeclampsia, and now I have a machine that's monitoring my heart that I have to wear for 2 weeks, and I have to be checking my blood pressure too. I'm feeling better now, much better than before. Before I was just lay down, no energy, nothing. Like I was just in and out of the hospital. But thank God they changed my pill, so I'm like feeling much better. My heart still palpitating a little, sometimes a little fast, but it's getting much better. So let's see what the cardiologist say after my 2 weeks come to see how was my heart. So hopefully there's nothing wrong, just because of the preeclampsia I have. But thank God I'm feeling much better. And this is September 26th.